Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Finger Guns podcast with Tony, Dave, and James. I am the one, the only title card introductory boy, Jimothy, and I am joined with
Big Tasty Tony V.
Hell yeah, and
Dave, the Destroyer of Worlds.
Still?
Fuck yeah. I'm fucking getting behind that.
Still?
Yeah, let's fucking do it. Dave the fucking Destroyer.
He has become Dave, the Destroyer of Worlds.
I fucking love it.
More like Dave, the Destroyer of Toilet Bowls, though.
Yes,
Let's
His
be
world
serious.
is smaller.
Absolutely.
Let's just keep calling it Worlds, but we know it's toilet bowls. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
It's just your throughput of Taco Bell is one for the ages.
That was really good. It was really good the other day when we got it.
Truth. I honestly, I was driving Dave back home and I couldn't figure out. He was like, I'm hungry. You want to get something to eat? I couldn't think of what the fuck I wanted. So Taco Bell became the thing.
Taco Bell is always the thing when you can't think of what to get.
Yeah, really what
Especially
I wanted.
when you're with Dave. I'm not looking forward to those late nights at TIFF with this
It's
fucking
going to
guy.
be all Taco Bell. We got to record a late night Taco Bell
Oh,
episode.
Jesus. In the Taco Bell
In the
parking lot.
Taco Bell. Either in the parking lot or in the restaurant.
Absolutely. That's true.
Like we did the last one at A&W. We have to make a return.
We gotta fucking do it.
But at a T-Bell would be so sipping on a Baja Blast, recording this fucking podcast episode in the middle of a fucking Taco Bell.
Cheesy gordita.
Absolutely. Just the crunch is what you want.
Yeah.
It's good ASMR content.
Taco Bell, if you're listening to this, please sponsor our podcast.
Finger Guns sponsored by T-Bell.
That literally is the sponsorship that makes the most sense.
We live Moss.
We do live Moss.
It's true.
We have never not lived Moss.
And I would definitely speak about Baja Blast in every episode.
Absolutely.
I would wear Taco Bell merch everywhere I go if they sponsored this fucking podcast.
I already wear Taco Bell merch.
Like the motto
That's
of which
fair.
podcast is Live Moss.
It is now.
It definitely is now.
It's 100. Anyway, Taco Bell, if you're out there, hit us up. Well, we just ramble about some movies. Trust me. See, like there's no harm in this brand pairing. You join with us. We say fuck John Voight. It's great. Taco Bell, you can get behind this. I'm telling you. Even our opinions are in line with Taco Bell as a brand.
But also fuck John Voight.
Fuck John Voight.
I love that you guys keep doing that.
Anyway, you want to talk about some movies?
Let's
Yes,
fucking kick it.
Let's vroom into this shit. Do you want to do best, my worst?
Yes.
Who wants to go first?
I went first last time, so one of you two chuckleheads has to go first.
James, why don't you go first?
Okay.
You want to get crazy and start at the bottom and work our way up to the top?
Okay. Yes. Okay. I can deal with that.
You want to
Let's
do worst
do
to
it.
best?
Worst to
best.
We're returning to our roots because apparently
Yes.
from Tony, who actually listened to one of our first episodes that I just put out into the ether and said, I don't need to hear this.
Tony listens to all the episodes.
I appreciate you.
I also listened to all the episodes, but I haven't listened to the early stuff,
Yeah, you don't need to.
the underground stuff.
The underground before we were cool. The Scream episode. Good Lord. Anyway, sure. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm going to start with my worst, I guess, and I feel confident saying putting this in worst. Rush.
Okay.
I just literally before we ended up recording this, I just finished watching it.
Like the car movie,
The car
or
movie.
like
The band.
a band movie.
I would never speak ill about Rush the band.
Okay,
Can't-
good.
you
Rush
can't.
the band lives on a pedestal in my mind.
Absolutely. Tom
live on-
Sawyer, man, come on.
It should live on
Leopard.
everybody's fucking mind pedestal.
Yes, but especially every Canadian. Number one. Anyway, no, Rush the movie and not Rush the video game. Rush the movie.
We have some very good memories.
I loved Rush the video
Yes.
game. That was wild.
What the fuck is he doing over there?
I'm
He's
not
not even a part of the
sure.
conversation.
I'm not sure. He's making up a theme?
I was trying to do Tom Sawyer.
Oh, that was no. Tom Sawyer is not your karaoke song.
I was doing the beat.
Yes,
I wasn't going to
we
sing
We're
it.
aware of what you were doing.
Yeah.
6 out of 10. 6 out of 10.
Oh, it's still a pass.
It's no gimme shelter.
Yeah.
It's still a pass.
It's a York University B-.
All right.
Yes.
All right, I'll take it.
But going back, we do have some distinct memories.
We do.
N64.
N64 Rush, man. Rush was the shit.
Yes.
I still
is the
remember that.
shit.
I still
don't know.
remember that. What was it? Like you're racing inside like an office.
Yep.
And also the rocket car.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
It's like it was like a, what was that fucking level we always played? It was like the grid, basically, and there's like those sweet jumps that you always went off of, and there's like that emerald green car. There's always the fucking
yeah. I miss Rush.
It's good times.
I gotta play that game again.
They remade it on Switch.
Of course they did. I'm getting a Switch this fall. All right, give me some time, and then I'm there. I'm with you. I'm waiting for a sale.
Absolutely.
A Costco bundle sale.
The best.
PS5's on sale at Costco this week.
I don't need another one.
Why not?
For what?
Why not?
For whom?
Why not?
Bear? For Mouse?
So you and Mouse can do fucking LAN parties. Come on now.
Yeah, that's what Mouse is into. LAN parties.
This is a long sidebar.
It really is.
Rush.
The film.
Isn't it directed by Ron Howard?
It is directed
That's
by
why it's
Ron
on your
Howard.
worst list.
Yes. It relies a lot on narration, which is just a choice.
Daniel Bruhl's narration, right?
And Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth.
For a bit. Yeah,
Okay.
they trade off every once in a while.
Nice.
But mainly Daniel Bruhl.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's fine. It focuses on James Hunt and Niki Lauda's rivalry, but amped up to a degree that is not based in reality at all. They were like actual friends. He like stayed over at James Hunt's house all the time. Like they were buddies, like best buddies. And like this movie makes it seem like they were just like sworn enemies from the beginning. But
were they best buddies from the beginning, or like it took a little?
No, from the beginning. Like from the Formula 3 days of like they were friends from the start. It just like obviously they had a rivalry that's non-disputed, but like it was just like cranked up to make the movie more exciting. And sure, whatever. I guess it does. It focuses all on, I think, a lot of the things that surround the race, but
doesn't he get horrifically scarred at one point?
he does. Yes, in the 1975 race,
he gets burned, right?
Yeah, he crashes and burns, and that's the race that he was like, I don't think anybody should race this race. It's very dangerous out there, and then he's the one that gets like completely annihilated out there.
We call that irony.
And then and then he comes back, and like his whole thing was like 6 months after that accident, he was back on the track and racing again and winning again, and it was just that guy was wild. He lived so long. He only died in 2019. Niki Lauda was like,
oh shit,
yeah,
shit.
He lived for a while.
I bet he showed up at TIFF.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I bet he showed up.
He probably did. Anyway,
they love doing that shit, bringing the real person.
Of course,
yeah.
Crowds fucking
would have
like
gone.
live
They would
for
have
those
gone
moments.
bananas. And like he was probably still fine then, because what was that, 2012 ish? I think it was
2013.
2013. Yeah. So
10 years.
Yeah.
Me and Tony saw it theatrically. I remember liking it.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I don't think
I
it's
remember
great,
Bruhl was
though.
very good.
Bruhl's great. Hemsworth also, like, they're both great, but I think like they focus on everything but the racing. And the racing itself, there's so much CG going on that like it's just not great, and it doesn't hold up looking back on
that
it
makes
10
sense.
years on.
That makes sense. You never want a racing movie where there's more CGI than actual racing, right? Like the good thing about car movies, at least the car movies that I like, they're all in car, like they're driving it.
And we'll talk more about that.
Fast and Furious franchises very CG, sir.
That is.
I also wasn't referring to Fast and Furious.
But actually, even if we do refer to Fast and Furious, if you go back to the original, the roots where it was more about racing than it was about heists.
Oh
and
yeah,
shit
the original.
There's so much in-camera car stuff going on, and it's great, and it's fucking exciting the entire time. Even like the entire third act, where, it's the heist that goes wrong.
When they're stealing DVD players.
When they're stealing the DVD players out of the back of the truck, and the truckers got a fucking shotgun. Yeah.
And that orange Toyota Supra.
Hell yeah.
Love that stuff.
But like it's excellently done and all well shot.
Well, that's the reason why the first one
holds
holds up against some of the newer ones, right?
Now it's a theme park ride.
Yeah.
Like it's not a racing movie anymore. Now it's a theme park ride. You can't put those on a list of racing movies anymore.
I feel like you could just sum up Rush by just saying Ron Howard.
Ron Howard. It's very Ron Howard. And it's fine. It's totally fine. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm putting it on the worst just because out of the three movies I'm going to talk about, it was the worst of the three. Saving for a main title segment, spoilers.
Nice.
But otherwise, It's fine. It focuses on a lot of things that aren't the race. Well, it will say from a racing movie perspective, all of them seem to do the same thing, which is like the third act is a proper race that is gets your heart rate going.
Yeah.
And this one does have that, and it's pretty great.
Makes sense.
Not excellent, but great.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I really have to say about Rush.
I have it on Blu-ray. Maybe I'll watch it again.
You should. Just give it a watch.
Give it a watch.
See, it's 10 years.
I'll get my Daniel Bruhl numbers up.
Yeah.
There you go. I just remember the scene when Chris Hemsworth's just sitting in a chair and he's like mimicking like the car and like he's literally has his eyes closed and he's just like feeling it.
Yeah.
It's like I thought that was really awesome.
Yeah. Again, another thing that comes back a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Dave.
I wanted something that was just short and sweet, and
Right.
I was on my Netflix watch list and I found Spawn from 1997.
Oh yeah. Did you ever watch the
The HBO show?
Yeah.
I think I watched parts of it. I remember it being very cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
The movie not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
pretty fucking bad.
For Spawn. It was the cartoon that definitely did more than the movie.
When, like, truth be told, when he's in full costume and the cape is flowing, it looks amazing. Yeah. Even by today's standard, it looks fucking awesome. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's only like maybe 5 minutes of that. Yeah. Total.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will give credit where credit is due. It wants to be Batman really badly.
Super badly.
Very.
But the set design of some of the stuff, there's like a whole alley set design, gothic church thing. Looks great.
Yeah.
It looks great. And the makeup on John Leguizamo as the clown.
I remember that a lot. Yeah.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Even by today's standards. It looks great.
Yeah.
The acting, the story,
the rest of the brutalized CGI,
the transitions, which are just flames.
Isn't there?
Love that.
There's a brutal dragon CGI in that one, isn't there?
Yeah, it's like a devil
thing. Yeah.
It for 97.
Sure.
It's not horrible. The only thing that looks really fucking bad is they like go to hell.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say how does that scene hold up?
They fight different things, and like when he's going down, it's fine. But when they're like jumping on platforms and fighting guys in hell, and it looks awful.
Yeah.
It looks real fucking bad.
Yeah.
Like I will give the demon dragon thing, I'll give it a pass, and I will give the clown turns into like a demon thing at 1.2, but that's a mix of puppet and CGI work, and it doesn't look too bad. But yeah, them in hell, awful.
Oof.
Acting not great.
Yeah.
And John Leguizamo is putting his heart and soul into it, and he's trying to be Jack Nicholson's Joker, Danny DeVito's Penguin, and a dick and fart joke, like a Kevin Smith movie together as one.
It's a very odd combination.
Like I hear that that's actually how the character is in the comics, and that's great. And that's great and all, but it's not a great character.
Yeah, yeah.
And the last thing I want to say, because like I'm trying not to beat up on it too much. Like it's a very 90s movie.
Yeah,
very 90s. The last thing I wanted to say was, in like Venom or like a Batman movie type thing, like you want to see, you're paying the lead guy so you can see his face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why they're not always wearing the mask.
Yeah.
In this movie, Michael Jai White, he gets horrifically scarred,
right?
Horrifically burned.
Yeah.
And he barely wears the Spawn mask, but his face is all mangled to hell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do you keep showing me his face? Like just make him wear the mask.
Is too much.
Just put the mask on.
Too much money.
Yep.
But yeah. And then like I definitely caught on to some subplots that are like missing.
Yeah.
There's definitely like
frame missing.
Real missing.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know how they're going to redo it with Jamie Foxx, but
if it ever happens.
But all I know is if they can just keep him with the fucking mask on, and they can make the cape look amazing like they did in that movie, I'm sure it'll be a lot better than what we got in 97.
Yeah. Until then, just watch the HBO show.
Yes.
It's only like
or read the comics.
8 episodes.
Keith David is Spawn in that, isn't it?
As he should be.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's excellent.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tony.
All right. Well, for my worst, I have a little film. I'm not sure if you guys, Dave might know what it is. James, I don't know if you're going to know what it is. It's from 2023.
Oh,
it's recent.
It's recent.
New.
It's recent. It is a film called Hypnotic.
Oh,
with our
boy
friend of the podcast, Mr. Ben Affleck.
The Robert Rodriguez one.
Directed by also friend of the podcast, Robert Rodriguez.
He's back.
Yes, in pog form.
Talk to me, Goose.
Yeah, this movie was a choice.
It's been in like editing hell forever.
Yeah, you can tell.
Like I'm pretty like, did you notice the glue marks and the tape?
Pretty much.
When
and
did they shoot it?
Like this,
I think before the pandemic.
Seriously,
like it's been sitting on a shelf somewhere for a bit.
Huh.
It does not resemble anything of Robert Rodriguez at all. He was basically a gun for hire.
Interesting.
Ben Affleck, not really sure what he's doing. William Fitcher.
You love him.
Yeah.
Oh, Fichtner's in it?
He's just there.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Will.
The movie owes a lot of its life to Inception because it's basically Inception. It's like your standard, I want to say it's your standard detective thing.
Yeah.
Upon layers of a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream.
Okay.
It's just not good.
That's unfortunate.
There's a good movie in there
somewhere.
There's something in there. I know it's there.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's trying. He's exhausted, but he's trying. Basically a cop tries to stop a bank robbery. There's some supernatural elements going on. Buddy gets in the middle of the heist, finds out that the thing that they're looking for is a picture, and the picture is of Buddy's daughter, who's been missing for quite some time. And then he goes off to find his kid.
Right.
With the help of this guy who just suddenly like says something, and then all of a sudden the person's mind just gets warped and goes to hell.
Huh.
That's basically what Hypnotic is.
Huh.
Yeah. Avoid it like the plague.
All right.
How was Alice Braga?
Tracita from it's that fucking show I love, Queen of the South. She was just there.
Oh, that's too bad.
I was wondering when
she certainly was in the movie.
Yeah. I was waiting for her Latin gangbangers to just suddenly emerge and be like, Tracita, we gotta go.
Oh, you meant actual gangbangers. What are you talking about?
Well, Queen of the South, she plays like a female Scarface, basically.
Got it.
Yeah. That's it's just kind of there. If you want to up your Robert Rodriguez numbers on Letterboxd,
I don't think that I do.
Up your Ben Affleck numbers like Chuckles over there.
I do want to up my Ben Affleck.
I just want some old Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's the better choice. And he's got a remake of Spy Kids coming, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's on Netflix next month.
There you go.
Oh boy,
with Zachary Levi.
Oh boy.
So why don't you watch that instead? Because that's probably going to be better than Hypnotic.
Let's not. Let's not overpromise here.
Let's not say things we can't take.
We did watch Heart of Stone, Tony.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I'm not saying that has anything to do with this reboot of Spy Kids, but it has everything to do with Netflix.
Yeah.
How many times they already rebooted Spy Kids?
But again, Dave.
What?
Again.
Like were those movies that popular that they need 2 reboots?
I feel like it's gotten to. I think Spy Kids is one of those movies that like kids who were kids when it came out. Not that we weren't, but I think we were just like on the cusp of being
too old.
I think kids that were kids when it came out have this like rose-colored glasses remembrance of what Spy Kids was.
Like everybody with the 80s.
Yeah. exactly. Like they remember it being great, but I feel like if they actually went back and rewatched it, they'd be like, oh, because like I don't remember it being great. And every time I see a screenshot of it, everything looks just way too bright and unlit, like lit terribly, and like
the CGI
terrible.
Looks like fucking MS Paint,
like dog shit.
Yeah.
Apparently the kid, the son, whoever Junie, is that his name in the show?
That's his name in the movie.
Apparently he is well endowed.
Oh, Meghan Trainor's husband.
Trainor,
right?
yeah,
that's great for him.
Yeah. She's talked about it at
good
length
for him.
how she's like in pain afterwards because it's so big. But so good for him.
Good for him. Good for him. Good for Junie.
If anything comes out of Spy Kids, it's a well endowed boy.
He's a man now, James.
He still looks like a boy.
He's always a boy.
So the catharsis of my review for Hypnotic.
Don't.
Right.
That's fair. Onwards
and upwards.
Well, I have to put something in this middle slot, and I also need to talk about this movie because these two chuckleheads made me watch it whilst eating a lot of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Sorry, K-Fried C. And I'm talking here about Killer Joe, which
Billy Friedkin.
God rest in peace, Billy Friedkin. You are an absolute menace. I struggle. I struggle to find words.
We've been waiting.
I've been waiting
a week to hear your thoughts on this.
I know. I've held them. I've held them. I've struggled to find words. It's at points. It's so fucked that you can't even tune out. Like you can't stop watching it.
Tell the people what it's about.
Okay, so a very dysfunctional family decides a very dysfunctional, poor white trash trailer trash.
You gotta make sure it's that you emphasize trailer trash.
I gotta really put. There's poor, there's 6 layers of shit, and then there's them living way at the bottom. Like they do not have money. This stepmom is like working at a pizza place. The dad is a mechanic.
Yeah.
The daughter is alive.
She suffered a traumatic injury or traumatic event when she was younger, so it messed her up.
And the son is at best a terrible drug dealer.
Who also owes some very bad people a lot of money.
Who gets in deep with the sharks. Who lost a whole bunch of drugs because he's a terrible drug dealer and owes a lot of money because of this, and has a bounty on his head. And his harebrained scheme to get this back is to have his biological mom killed to get the life insurance money.
Yes.
And in order to do this, they hire a very crooked cop played by Matthew McConaughey.
And his name's Killer Joe.
And his name is Killer Joe. And Matthew McConaughey in this movie is everything. He's so fucking good.
I will go to the grave saying that this is where the McConaughey started.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
Top 3 best roles for sure.
Watching it, I was like, this is half of the idea that he used to create Rust Cole for True Detective. It's right there. Just like slimy dirtbag cop. It's right here. It's the blueprint is here, amongst other shit that he had to add in there. But this is a start. Anyway, the movie unfolds. Shit goes sideways in the most ridiculous ways. There's a promise of betrothal because the daughter becomes collateral. And then you're like, where the fuck? And especially like towards the end, after the deed has been accomplished and everything has gone to shit, you're like, I don't understand where this movie is supposed to go now because everyone is locked sort of in certain paths. And then the K for IC comes out.
You don't need to. I don't want you to describe it for people who haven't seen it.
All I have to, I'm not going to describe any more than the K for IC comes out, and my jaw hit the floor by what I spent the last 10 minutes, I guess 10, 15 minutes of that movie watching. Because what the shit is that ending?
That dinner scene is like, I keep telling this to people, like,
it's like a half
master class.
Holy
it's
fuck.
the entire third act. It's like a half hour type thing.
Yeah.
And you're on the edge of your seat the entire time.
You have no idea what's happening next. Like, it just,
every single one of those actors are committed to the bit. The writing is impeccable. The direction, Billy freaking, holy shit.
I also have to give huge kudos throughout that movie, actually, to like the makeup crew too.
Yeah.
Because when Buddy Boy gets his fucking ass beat by the bikers, when he shows back up at the house, holy shit. Like, he got brutalized. I also like how then everyone just goes to bed. That was one of my favorite things.
Tired of his shit.
Whatever, man. Like, here's your bag of frozen peas. Good luck.
They're tired of his shit.
Yeah.
And they all hate each other.
They all hate each other. Everyone is an absolute piece of shit in this movie.
Also, how big is that trailer?
Huge.
It's enormous.
Square footage changes depending on what the scene requires.
It's enormous.
They have room for an entire family room in there. It's nuts. Full kitchen, an entire family room, and 2
dining
bedrooms.
room.
Everything.
It's enormous.
It's enormous.
Like, it looks like a big trailer, but I don't think it's that big.
That's a fucking.
That's some movie magic.
That's a 2-bedroom apartment.
Seriously.
But anyway, it's.
That trailer's bigger than your fucking last apartment in Toronto.
Oh, absolutely, it is.
It most certainly is.
Everybody in it's an absolute abysmal piece of shit, but you still can't help but watch the entire thing unfold.
Even Juno Temple, you'd say she's a piece of shit.
She's the least piece of shitty of the piece of shits.
That's fair.
Still not great.
You're rooting for absolutely no one. You just need to know what happens.
You just need to find out what happens. And by God, you do. Anyway, if you haven't seen Killer Joe, get yourself go order a 12-piece bucket of KFC, K4IC. Get yourself 2 sides. Make sure it's the macaroni and cheese too. The mac and cheese is great. Anyway, the point is, get yourself some KFC, sit there, eat it, and try to finish it before you get to the actual K4IC scene of this movie, because at that point, you want to put it down and never touch the stuff again.
I'm surprised you didn't know.
I had no idea. I knew nothing about Killer Joe.
I definitely thought you would catch on when I was like, yo, let's get some Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Nothing could have prepared me for anything that happened in that movie. I knew nothing. It was perfect blind watching. Yeah. Anyway, it's sitting in the middle. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying it's anything, but it is Killer Joe.
I'm just glad you had a good blind watch.
I did.
Last time I recommended people go in this movie blind, I almost got thrown out of a movie club.
You created an entire set of rule books.
I did. Yeah. I did. It was forever changed after.
You finally pushed the limits. You went too far.
I did. Shout out to OG super fans, yes. Brad, Mason, and Michael.
Oh, big ups to them.
Yeah, big ups to them. And supporting my they were the OG movie club. They supported my decision with Killer Joe, and
they had your back afterwards.
They did not have my back after that.
Oh, it's super fan. No, you get put down a peg. You're now just fan.
Nah,
can't be super fan.
There's super fans. They could not follow me down. I did that to myself.
You had to fall on your own sword.
I did.
Well, if there's any sword to fall on, it is for Killer Joe. It's a worthy sword. God, rest in peace, Billy Friedkin. Jesus Christ,
seriously,
man.
We lost a good one.
Fuck.
Tracy Letts he's so nice and Ladybird, but he wrote this.
Oh, we'll talk more about Tracy Letts in a little bit too.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
Carry on, Dave.
I want to watch Killer Joe again.
You have it. You can watch it as many times as you want.
I watched it with some of the commentary.
How's that?
It's nutty.
Was it better than that fucking Q&A we watched?
Yes.
God.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Harry Knowles, yeah.
Yeah, fuck Harry Knowles.
You can burn in hell. What was my man? I remember. It's a film called Dreamin' Wild, and it stars Casey Affleck.
Ooh.
Walton Goggins.
Ooh.
Zoe Deschanel.
Hey.
And Beau Bridges.
Nice.
It's a hell of a fucking cast.
As well as Jack Dylan Glazer and Noah Jupe.
Jesus.
Is that how you say his last name?
Yeah.
Jupe.
Close
so it's based on a true story of the Emerson family. The two boys recorded an album called The Titular, Dreamin' Wild. And they thought the dad like put a lot of money into it, like sold part of the farm, like he bet on it. And it didn't go anywhere. And then years later, it gets rediscovered and it starts going viral. And then it becomes a big deal.
Huh.
And they start getting royalties and stuff. And Chris Messina's in it. And he's the best Chris. And yeah, it just kind of goes. It just kind of goes from there. And it kind of jumps back and forth between like the present,
the first time,
the past,
and
in the past, and it's well made, and the acting is very good. It's just kind of like, like partway through, you're just like, okay,
right,
and just like there's some others like, because the brothers were involved in the making of the film, or at least the one brother is involved in the making of the film. So it's not that it's rose-colored glasses. It's just that like there's the darker stuff that they don't really get into.
Oh, okay.
So it's just kind of like fractured memories. And like you see it kind of there. So like if you know the story, then you're like, oh yeah, that's that. Oh yeah, that's that. But if you don't know, like me, then you're just like, okay.
So they only like scratching the surface of what really happened?
It's not that they're just not going more. They're just not going deeper on certain elements.
Got it.
Because they like glaze over him trying to become a big superstar type thing. They glaze over like the effect it had on the family type thing. They glaze over the other brother and what he was doing.
Oh, all right.
Like it's just it's not a bad movie. It's just kind of like, you're like, maybe you could have amped up some parts.
Right.
Makes sense.
Could have amped up some parts, but the music is well done. Like, it's not a bad movie. It's just not a great movie.
Right.
And it could have been great. And like you said, like the cast is aces.
Yeah.
And like, if Walton Goggins shows up, I'm there.
Obviously.
I'm there for Uncle Baby Billy. I will be there. With bells on, but yeah, and Zoe, one of my first Hollywood crushes. Zoe.
Oh, that's so cute.
She's marrying a property brother now.
That's less cute.
Tony,
for my meh, which I am now labeling instead of meh, I'm labeling as the second best.
Sure.
You guys have both seen it, and we've both talked at length about this.
Is it Killer Joe?
I thought it would be an interesting view to see what I thought of this movie.
Go on.
I'm talking about Asteroid City.
Hey now.
Okay. Talk to me, Goose.
It is the most out there Wes Anderson movie ever.
Yeah.
And that's saying something for a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah.
It's fucking out there.
Yeah.
It's definitely a big swing.
It's
the most meta he's ever been.
Yeah.
It's a swing, all right.
I liked it. Liked it. There was points where I was just like, okay, Wes, where are you going, buddy? Yeah. Like where's this going?
Yeah.
But for the most part, I really fucking enjoyed it. I loved the sets. The sets were so beautiful. It was very vibrant colors. The camera is very Wes Anderson. It's fucking on a goddamn dolly, just zipping back and forth, the slider, if you will. And it was just very Wes Anderson.
Yeah, that seems to be what he's been doing for the last little bit.
Yeah,
really leaning into it.
Really, like there were some parts where I was just kind of like, I'm not really sure what's happening. Yeah. Like I had to explain the whole movie to Melissa because Melissa halfway through, she's like, Tony, I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, I don't really know what's going on either. And then I started to explain it to her, and she was just like, I still don't get it. I'm like, I'm fairly certain I didn't really explain it to you properly, but like, this is how I'm taking it.
It's not that hard to grasp, but
it's like a layer within a layer within a layer.
You have to be
3 layers down.
Yeah. Maybe even 4.
No offense to Melissa. It's a movie you got to pay attention to.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But don't speak ill about my wife.
I didn't say anything ill.
No, you have a point though. It's not. You can't.
You can't. You got to be really paying attention. You got to be really like looking at the characters.
Yeah.
When Bryan Cranston shows up in the colored world.
Yeah. Wild.
That was wild.
When he's just like, I'm not supposed to be here.
Wait a minute.
And then when they open it and they go into the black and white.
Yeah.
Again, choice.
Yeah.
But I can see why you guys weren't really on board. You guys were kind of like about it.
Yeah.
It's not his best work for sure.
It was too much is the way that I felt about it.
But I applaud him for doing something new.
Sure.
And I applaud him for just like embracing his weirdness.
He gets points for originality, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Jeff Goldblum playing an alien? Come on.
Yeah,
literally.
Absolutely.
When I saw it in the credits, I was kind of mad at first, but then I was just like, okay, where's Jeff Goldblum?
You enjoyed his one line,
right? And then I was like, and then I saw the alien come out, and I was like, is that Jeff Goldblum?
Eventually.
But it was good. I really enjoy. I wouldn't say I really enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it for what it was, and I enjoyed it for just how original and fresh.
Nice.
We're seeing the same cookie cutter bullshit in Hollywood. You know, I'm always on my soapbox saying cookie cutter bullshit in Hollywood needs to go.
And we need more. Long.
And we need more originality.
Absolutely.
So definitely definitely seek this one out. Wes Anderson is definitely a fucking originality.
Absolutely.
In himself. And
he's got his new one coming out soon too.
Yeah.
The short film.
The short film.
Yeah, the short film.
Yeah. Really excited for that.
Yeah.
So
that's worth it. Yeah,
it's worth it.
With you.
It's worth it. Yeah.
I'll buy the Criterion.
Oh, I've already got it pre-ordered.
Nice.
Nice. My Isle of Dogs Criterion already.
It's fair.
Jeffrey Wright too. Like fuck, man.
He's one of the best parts of that movie. Easily one of the best parts of that movie.
He's so good. So good.
And I really like the scene with is it Schwartzman and Margot Robbie we were talking?
Yeah.
I really
on the balcony?
On the balcony.
Outside the theater thing?
Outside the theater, yeah. I really like that too.
And also, it's been a bit since I've seen something properly with Schwartzman in it, so that's been nice.
Schwartzman was so fucking good.
Schwartzman's always fucking good.
It makes me want to watch that. Oh, what the fuck was that show?
Oh, Bored to Death.
Thank you. That was.
I have all 3 seasons on Blu-ray.
Excellent.
It's a good show.
I haven't watched that since it came out.
Show.
But yeah, I remember it being just
wild.
Nutty.
I really want to watch Rushmore. After watching that, I really want to watch Rushmore again.
I could always watch Rushmore.
Yeah, I need to show it to Melissa.
I don't think I've actually ever seen Rushmore.
You should.
Well, that is.
I think I started at the Royal Tenenbaums and went up from there.
I think this is a good time
to go back to Rushmore.
Yeah.
Should I go back to Bottle Rocket though?
I haven't seen Bottle Rocket in forever, and I want to. Have the Criterion, but Rushmore is where it's at.
Just drop your mic, put on your headphones. Me and Dave will just carry on.
You got the rest of this. That's fine. I'll tell you the movies I wanted to talk about. I'll give you my points. You got what I wanted to say.
It is straight up one of my favorite movies of all time.
Interesting. Okay.
There's your high praise.
That's fair. I'll take it.
I quoted it in my wedding vows. That's how much I love that movie.
Yes, you did.
It was my yearbook. It was my grade 12 yearbook.
You're super lame.
Quote. I should bring out my grade 12 yearbook. No. It is a capital C choice with some of these people use as their quotes.
Yeah. We went, my girlfriend and I went through my grade 11 and 12 yearbooks, just kind of looking, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do it.
Yeah,
don't do it.
I think I'm pretty happy with my grade 12 yearbook.
Was it, I can't believe I ate the whole thing?
No, it was Departed.
Oh, of course it was. That tracks for Tony. Actually, no. The fact that it wasn't something from Scarface does not track for Tony.
It was actually between Departed and Scarface, and the girl beside me said use Departed.
Yeah, that makes more
tracks.
sense. That feels right for Tony.
That tracks. But yeah, some of the other. Somebody quoted Donald Trump.
God.
Chef's kiss.
You know what?
Chef's kiss.
If you look at the guy, you're like, "Yep, that tracks."
he's wearing a red baseball cap now.
That totally tracks.
Speaking of, if the Playhouse ever plays Scarface, we're going.
We're going.
Okay, cool. That was a no question.
No question.
Excellent. Because that was excellent.
So fucking good. So good.
You got to come this time.
Yeah, I know.
For 3 hours.
Can't have rooftop. Can't have rooftop.
I
beers,
know.
Though.
And rooftop ceviche.
Yeah.
No,
that's where our love for ceviche came from.
I don't want to talk about ceviche ever. Best.
Well, it's thematically on point with our main topic, but I got to talk about Ford v Ferrari.
Yes, you do.
Because after watching our main movie that we're talking about today, I immediately went home and watched this because I needed something that was better.
Spoilers.
Ford v Ferrari. So we saw that at TIFF.
We did.
8:30 in the morning.
8:30 in the fucking morning.
We did, and then we hustled out because we had to get in line for Joker.
Indeed, we did. But man, I still remember that. Also, that was a banger TIFF year. There was absolutely nobody that could ever question that TIFF year. It was perfect.
That was a good TIFF year.
Ford v Ferrari, still so fucking incredible.
I believe it.
Jesus Christ.
It won those Oscars for a reason, man.
Absolutely. And it deserved every single one of them because it's such a well-crafted movie.
So good.
That is focused on all the right things. It's the right balance between the actual racing, the building of the cars, the loudness of vehicles, the last act being the entire Le Mans is fucking insane.
Well, it's called Le Mans 66 in Europe.
Yeah.
It's not called Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah. But it's that entire third act is nuts. It's so shot in camera, on the track with the cars,
so good, man.
And the editing,
the sound design
is incredible.
I bought the 4K just for the sound.
Yeah, I watched it. So I watched it in 4K, and I had my sound system cranked on it, and it was just
your house would have been vibrating for sure.
Vibrating.
I love it.
It sounded amazing when they first started, and the first GT40 that had the V8 in it, and then they get the next one, then the V10, and holy shit. It's so much louder. And just, the camaraderie. Tracy Letts as Henry Ford II. That's the Tracy Letts of it all. He's great as Henry Ford II. What the fuck's his stupid name that plays his VP, that limey fuck? I can never remember his name. I can always remember his face.
It's not the Punisher, right? Is it Josh Lucas? Is that who it is?
I think you might be right.
I feel like it's Josh Lucas.
It's not John Bernthal.
No, not Johnny Bernthal.
John Bernthal's great as Iacocca.
I forgot he was even in
it. Josh Lucas. It is Josh Lucas. That limey fuck. Right.
And Noah Jupe's in it.
Yeah, Noah Jupe is in it. Tracy Letts is in it.
Josh Lucas has a habit of playing those fucking characters, and he's very good at playing shit.
Yeah. He's excellent. He's excellent at it. It made me just despise the man. But Christian Bale and Matt Damon are fucking excellent. Matt Damon doing all of the best Southern that he could possibly put on as
Matt Damon's
Carol
a
Shelby.
Great fucking actor.
He's so
we take him for granted.
He's so good. And Christian Bale is obviously great. You can't.
No.
And he didn't really have to do much. He just got to be a little bit thinner and speak in a British accent. He was fine.
Well, I don't think he's allowed to lose as much weight as he had, or put on as much as
his insurance company will not let him anymore.
No, he was just a little man, and he wasn't too bad.
He's a method actor for sure, but I don't think he's allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah, but no, just excellent. I love that movie so much, and every time I watch it, I always feel like right after I need to go watch Logan, just probably because it's Mangold, but still.
But you're not going to feel that way with Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Nope. Nope. I draw the line. Mangold can do some wrong, and has. But Ford v Ferrari is absolutely not one of the wrongs. It is so fucking great.
So good.
It's a dad movie though.
Oh yeah,
ultimate dad movie.
Absolutely.
But it's very good. Yeah.
It's also long as fuck.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours.
But but it like breezes by. Like I don't remember ever being bored during that movie.
There's a bit before the third act, before the Le Mans 66 race, that does feel you're a little bit like, holy fuck, okay, because like they go through the whole thing and then they go and race those cars, but Christian Bale's character doesn't get to go. And then there's this period where basically they redo the whole thing all over again. He's got to reconvince him to come join the team again. And I was just like, fuck me, how much time is left?
Isn't that where they like beat the shit out of each other in the street? They beat each other,
yeah, with the groceries and stuff.
Oh, I fucking love that part.
Yeah, it's excellent. But like just between that, like when Matt Damon goes back to Ford to reconvince him to give him another shot sort of thing, I was just like, holy fuck, how much time is left? But then after that there's no, you're straight to the end. There's no pass and go.
I just remember when we saw it at TIFF, like a third of the audience just like walked out after the race because they thought the movie was over and they wanted to get in line for Joker. And then they completely missed like the end.
The
like,
true ending that had all the heart in it.
Right. Yeah. And like for like those people, they'll probably go out and tell their friends, oh yeah, it was great. It was great. It was great. And then they will not know how it ended.
Yeah.
I remember that vividly.
Yeah. They were like, oh great, they won. Out the door. No. We still have to deal with a real gut-wrenching thing that needs to happen.
Absolutely.
And that still hits so fucking hard. Even though like they telegraph it with the first crash that happens, and then you get to the actual, and it's so far away, but you don't. You don't. Because you saw it happen at the airport. You know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And you then apparently though, so here's the thing that I read afterwards, because I started digging a little bit deeper down to Carroll Shelby and what the fuck is his name? I'm gonna feel bad if I don't. Ken Miles.
There you go.
I started digging deeper down into that to actually see like kind of like what I did for Rush and like seeing how close their friendship was. Ford v Ferrari nailed most of it pretty well.
That makes sense.
Carroll Shelby was still alive, so I'm sure that helped as well.
He probably showed up at TIFF.
No, he was dead by then.
Oh, he was dead. Okay.
But just in terms of like retelling that story and having the actual death. So you don't see it. And then it's kind of just like a line afterwards that pops basically. It's just like, some of them just don't make it out of the car sort of thing. Harkening back to the first crash that they show where he did make it out of the car. No. So much that car ripped itself into 1,000 pieces and he was ejected from the car and ripped into 1,000 pieces. Like it was so much more violent than they let on, and I was like, oh no, okay, I like this version slightly better, but now you also have to know that fact, so have fun with it. Thanks.
Great.
That's that lived in my dreams for a bit, so now it needs to live in yours.
That's a downer.
Yeah, you're welcome. But anyway,
it's a downer.
It's still aces.
Nightmares Tonight, brought to you by
Ford v Ferrari.
and
me. Mr. James. Dave, your best.
I was going to say Killer Joe. And then I was also like, I rewatched Oppenheimer, but we literally just talked at length about that. It only gets better with every watch. So I guess I'm gonna go with another rewatch that I watched. Another rewatch. This one brought to you by our friends at the Playhouse. Basic Instinct, which I went and saw in 35 millimeter. And chef's kiss. It's so good. It's so good. It was an R-rated cut because I've definitely seen it and I was like, pretty sure this movie was longer. But it's trashy as shit, and it's another movie where you don't want to root for anybody.
Yeah.
And like Michael Douglas is a piece of dog shit in this movie, but he's so good.
Yeah.
And Sharon Stone is just fucking with him the entire time.
Sure.
And just like, she's amazing in it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. This was it a 4K restoration or whatever that they did? Or
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I'm not too sure. It looked a little beat up, but like this is where Sharon Stone really exploded.
Yeah.
And like there's a reason for it. It's not just for the fucking her crossing and uncrossing her legs. She's fucking awesome.
That joined the zeitgeist, but good for Sharon Stone.
Did ice picks get thrown away after this? Because I've never seen anyone ever use an ice pick, and literally anytime ice comes out in this movie, there's an ice pick.
Absolutely. It is Dave, back then we didn't know any better. You had to break off the chunk of ice.
It's the 90s.
You had to break off the chunk, Dave. You
were
only
Colonel
3.
Mustard in the library with the ice pick.
It's just... But it's
so no one died. It was just a lobotomy.
It's so trashy.
Yeah.
And just like noir, and the score is fucking, it was exploding out of the speakers.
Nice.
And just, the deeper you get, and you don't really, you like when Michael Douglas is first introduced, you're like, okay, cool, whatever. He just seems like a regular cop. And then you get to learn more about him as the movie goes on. And you're just like, oh, he's a piece of shit. And then you're like, oh, he's even worse than I thought he was. And like, there is no redeeming this son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And just, it's viciously violent. There is so much nudity in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's a Verhoeven movie, like to the T, like with capital V Verhoeven movie.
Yeah.
And just, I liked it the first time I saw it earlier this year, and I liked it even more when I watched it in 35.
Nice.
You guys missed out.
Yeah.
Do you have Basic Instinct?
I do not.
You do not? Okay.
They haven't released it on 4K here. They did in the UK, but I'm assuming somebody's going to bring it out.
Yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome.
It would make sense as a Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah. Nice.
They already did Showgirls.
Well, that's what I mean, man. For my best.
Yeah.
I have a film that none of you have heard of.
Sure.
It is a film called Drug War.
I have heard of Drug War.
It is by a very prolific Hong Kong director. His name is Johnny To.
Nice.
For some godly ass reason, I'm getting into a lot of Asian cinema.
Cool.
Specifically Hong Kong action movies.
Sure.
And
Korean?
No Korean.
A little bit of light Korean, but mostly Hong Kong. I'm really starting to get behind this Johnny To guy.
Yeah.
Because he's done some wild shit.
Yeah.
And this movie is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Simple premise. It is a drug dealer with I forgot what they're transporting. I think it's heroin. Gets caught. As you do, right? The fucking movie opens with a bus full of mules, basically, like going, just traveling, and then they get caught by the cops, and then it's like literally a fucking mass exodus of these people running.
So not literal mules.
No, not literal mules, drug mules, obviously. And they're at the border, and they're all like fucking like scatter.
Yeah.
And they're all like getting them and everything. And then the next scene, it's like the police have them in the hospital, and they're literally just like giving them the bucket and like forcing them to shit out all these bricks of fucking heroin. Right. And then like the one scene, like the guy like has like a plate full of these things, and he's literally just like rinsing off all this shit.
Oh my God.
But this guy gets caught, and basically he turns into an informant, and they basically go after the cartel, and it is literally like an adrenaline rush, because it will remind you a lot of Infernal Affairs. It will remind you a hell of a lot of Hard Boiled. Like he definitely used some fucking John Woo magic, because the whole end scene, like the end, like I would say like half an hour.
Yeah.
I'm not sure anyone actually reloaded their gun.
Huh.
It was just like nonstop fucking pistol fights, and like like Buddy lining a shot up, and like they're killing this guy. They're killing this guy.
Does he jump?
He jumps. There's a little bit of jumping. There's a little bit of gunplay.
Or like going down the staircase, like the railing.
It's a treat, and it's actually like really, really good. Like I just stumbled upon it. It was one of my 2 a.m. bottom fucking scraping the barrel of Prime.
Yeah.
And I found this movie, and I'm so glad that I did, because this director, like, he's got some good shit. And
nice.
I actually just picked up the Arrow special edition of Running Out of Time, which was also done by him. And I'm really excited to watch it. This guy, this guy's got some good shit, and you should definitely check it out. And this movie is definitely one of them.
Excellent.
I really, really enjoyed it.
I'm in.
Yeah. So
that's dope.
That was Drug Ward.
Blind Detective is not.
Oh, really?
It's not.
It's not, eh?
No.
Oh man,
I saw that at TIFF, and
he's got this election.
It's
election
like a
movie?
romance. It's more romantic, and it's.
Oh, it's not. Eh?
I thought it would be that.
Yeah,
it's not that.
Oh. he's got Running Out of Time, which is really good from the Letterboxd reviews that I've read. Election is another one. He has a habit of just doing like 1 and 2, because he does like Running Out of Time 1 and 2, Election 1 and 2. He's got another one called Exile that me and we saw the trailer like way back when we were going through our Hong Kong action movie phase when we were teenagers. That I really want to check out too.
Be a phase. That should just be a.
It
permanent.
Should be a permanent thing, because like, man, like, they're fucking good.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to dive deeper into this director.
Nice. Yeah.
And you guys should check out Drug War. It's on Prime.
Cool. And I shall.
All right.
So that's our best, my worst. Well done, everyone. Look at us go. Look at us shoving in all these movies.
I'm proud of us.
You want to do a little Shudder minute?
Yeah, let's get fucking weird.
Let's do it.
Evil lurking deep inside, its darkness knows no limit. So listen closely if you dare. This is the Shudder Minute.
Tony, go.
Fucking love that theme. Okay, so this week marks the release of a little film that we saw at Fantasia called Perpetrator that we discussed at length.
Yes.
That will be out on Shudder on September 1st.
Yes.
We fucking hated that movie universally. Sure so I'm not going to go into it again.
I didn't hate it. I wasn't a fan.
So
we all hated that movie.
We all hated that movie.
All right.
So I decided to do a little bit of retro in my Shudder movie this episode.
Yeah.
It is a film called Dolls by a very prolific horror director. He delivered the 1-2 punch of Reanimator and From Beyond.
Nice.
It is a man by the name of Stuart Gordon.
Oh, cool.
Dolls is essentially I would say, who did Toy Story? Pete Docter?
No, John Lasseter.
John Lasseter. So John Lasseter in the 80s, he saw this movie called Dolls, and he was just like, you know what? They're on to something. Yeah. I'm going to do that.
But for kids.
Yeah. And that's what this movie was. Really simple premise. You know me, I love my simple premises. Sure. This family, they're driving to go on vacation.
Is it premises or premises?
Premisi.
Anyway, semantics. They're going on vacation. Dad's a real piece of shit. The stepmother's an even bigger piece of shit. The child is not understood. They both hate the child, obviously. The child just wants to be with his mother. But she needs to spend the summer with dad. And their car something happens to the car. They get derailed from their trip. There's rain, and they just find this house in a field. And
that seems normal.
That seems normal, right? They break into said house because they think it's abandoned.
Seems normal.
Seems normal, right? And all of a sudden they find this. They find that the house is actually occupied by this old couple.
Oh,
that has a lot of creepy fucking dolls.
Oh,
in the place, and from there, hilarity ensues.
Oh, yeah, I could see it. That's a good setup.
Basically, dolls come alive. Dolls kill people, and yeah.
Is it goopy?
It's super fucking goopy.
Oh, that's lovely. That's the descriptor I like for my movies.
It's like
goop.
If Stuart Gordon did it, if it wasn't goopy, it better be goopy.
Guys, the fucking doll effects like would literally put any CGI bullshit that you see here and what we get today to shame.
To shame. Yeah.
Like the puppeteer of the dolls are fucking fantastic. The movie is at brisk 77 minutes.
Hey, excellent. Throw it on right now. Let's go.
Fucking in.
Honestly, if you take the gore away and you take some of like the 80s sleaze away from it, it's basically just like it's like I would hold it up against like Labyrinth or like, you know, Never Ending Story.
Really?
Like that, it has that kind of feel to it, right? Because like the little girl is the main character. She thinks the dolls are coming alive. No one fucking believes her, I guess, except for and I forgot to say, a hitchhiker or a man with two hitchhikers show up, and the man just loves toys. But he's an adult and he can't admit that he loves toys, but you still got that like child feeling in there.
Sure.
So he obviously connects with the kid.
Creepy.
Super creepy. But I never told you what happened to those hitchhikers.
I don't want to know. I want to go see this. I want to watch this movie. It's 77 minutes. I'm in.
Do they goop?
I'm in. You don't need to tell me.
It's a trip.
Oh, cool.
If you like Reanimator, if you liked From Beyond or anything Stuart Gordon has done, you'll definitely like this movie.
Nice.
I thoroughly fucking enjoyed it.
Have you seen Reanimator?
No.
It's a fucking trip,
you need
buddy.
to watch Reanimator.
Hey, October's coming up.
Oh, that's good.
Either
That's
that
good
or
shit.
From Beyond, dude. You will not regret any of them.
All right.
He
I
is.
can do both. I can do all three.
The only thing that I have against this movie is Jeffrey Combs is not in it.
Yeah, that's a piss off.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if he was in it and if Falcor was in it.
Falcor is not in it, unfortunately.
What's the point?
What's
Throw
the
it
point? Chuck it
in the bin.
But there's this transformation scene, and the transformation scene is fucking incredible.
Tony, you already sold us on the movie.
You struck gold already, buddy.
You're good.
I just need to tell the audience that, like, you know, like,
you sold
practical effects are still good.
Stop slamming on my table.
I'm sorry. I just fucking hate CGI.
Well, you don't have to.
For horror movies, man.
Oh.
Practical.
Yeah.
Practical. In camera. Practical.
I think CGI can be used to enhance things in the right way. I don't think this should be overly heavily relied on. I think it should be a mix between both.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in an age where we can do a lot of things with computers. Why not embrace that a little bit? But
I'm old school, buddy. I'm old school when it comes to horror. Practical effects.
Fair. And you can be, and that's fine. But I just,
that's the hell I'm going to die on.
Well, that's certainly a choice.
But it was a good Shudder. It was a good Shudder week. See Dolls. It's on Shudder.
Nice.
And yeah.
Sweet.
It's on my list. 77 minutes, man.
Absolutely. You could squeak that in right after this episode.
I can.
You want to talk about our main thing?
Yes, let's talk about the main thing that got delayed.
Event.
The main event that got delayed by 2 weeks, but they ran previews and still counted it towards the opening weekend.
Fucking bastards.
Gran Torino. Sorry, Turismo.
Gran Turismo.
Not the Gran
Did you guys
Torino.
ever play it?
I did.
It came with did you guys get it with your PS2?
No.
Mine came with my PS2. It was like the game that was bundled.
We didn't get a bundled one, but we got Tony Hawk.
I remember. That's great. I remember playing it and being overwhelmed by it. Like, I had Gran Turismo. I guess it was Gran Turismo. I think it was 4 A-Spec.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Gran Turismo 4.
It wasn't the first one. It was a couple of.
It was the one that came with. Yeah, it was a greatest hits version that came out with the PS2 bundled, and I think it was A-Spec. I remember that, and I just remember starting that game up and being like, "Oh, this is gonna be like fucking Rush," because I was still a young kid. This was my next system after the N64 was a PS2, and it is not that. It is a very, very difficult and very, very involved racing simulator. But like, I didn't know that as a kid. I was young. I was dumb.
it was in the title. It's like
not
the ultimate driving simulator.
Not then. It wasn't. It was still trying to make its roots as like, it obviously was built as a driving simulator, but I think Sony was still trying to play it off as a game at the time. Like, it didn't hit the popularity that it was at by the time this movie, what the players are playing in this movie, of like, it's so beyond where even that was. But yeah, I remember it being incredibly challenging.
Yeah, that's why I never got into it.
Yeah, I remember playing it on PS1, and I remember my buddy had it, and he told me that if I was going to play it, I had to play it with the wheel because it was dog shit with the controller.
Dog shit on controller.
Because he pulled out his fucking wheel and like the pedals and stuff, and it was like infinitely better.
Yeah.
Because like it is a fucking real simulator,
it's a sim.
So it would make sense.
So yes, to answer your question, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you never play it?
No, I played it.
Dabbled occasionally. Yeah.
Couldn't get into it because
we all played it
because it's not
variations of it
because it wasn't. Yeah, because I wasn't prepared for the
for the level
of that I would be into.
Exactly.
In it. Like my buddy's dad loves that franchise.
That's fair.
And like I would love to hear what he thinks of this movie.
Hopefully it's not much.
Yeah. But the short and sweet synopsis is
based on a true story.
Based on a true story, they decide to do a marketing gimmick where they pull the best racers, the best Gran Turismo racers in the world together to compete, to actually race for realsies, and it just goes from there.
Yeah, it follows that story, right? Like the marketing is done by Nissan, and they bring a bunch of sim racers together and try to get them to a point where they can race in a real
environment.
Race.
Yeah.
True.
And prove that the game, you could train in the game, and you could
your
use those
in-game hours translate to real world skill.
Yeah.
And Orlando Bloom is in it.
He's gorgeous.
And David Harbour's in it.
Also gorgeous.
Playing the same character that he always plays.
He's good at it, man.
He's good at it.
I really like David Harbour.
He's the best part of the movie easily, and he's good at it.
Yeah.
He's good at it.
Jimon Hunsu's in it.
Oh yes. I was like, hey, he's here.
I love when I see him. He's always I just like seeing him. He's a nice dude.
I just want to give him a hug every time I see him.
Right. I always feel bad about Blood Diamond when I see it though. Why? Just the movie in general.
But not Amistad.
Also Amistad. I try to forget about Amistad, Dave.
Question.
Spielberg.
I know, it's great.
Question.
Yeah.
I did love some of the Easter eggs in it from like the games and stuff.
Sure.
Did they ever fucking go like full Need for Speed in Gran Turismo with the fucking cop stuff?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
That was strange.
Because that was very like.
Before you guys get there, fucking Jerry Halliwell was the mom. Did you guys know that?
I did not know that, but that's wild.
Fucking Ginger Spice was the mom.
The whole time I was like, I recognize her from something.
Yeah.
And then when the credits were playing, I saw Jerry Halliwell. I was like, no fucking way. Yeah. And then sure enough, Letterboxd, I was like, how the fuck did I not know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I didn't recognize her at first. And then like partway through, I was like, oh yeah, that's Jerry Halliwell.
Such a random choice.
Okay, James, go.
Yeah. This movie had a lot of all over the placeness going on of like ideas that they started and then just
did away with. One being, yes, there's this get away from the cops thing. Nothing to do with anything other than to prove that he has racing skill. Sure, whatever. Fine, he can drive a car fast. But during that, they had these like pop-ups, a goal or like achievement unlocked sort of thing, like almost like you're earning like an in-game trophy. Like it's a video game.
Right. And then that never came back again, except for the other weird little game elements. Like I kind of liked how they like kind of kept you during any of the racing segments. You kind of knew where people were because they would do these like sort of like overlays of like in whatever place it was or whatever.
Yeah, but, and then they'd have it in the corner, and then you would see the
but
see
like,
it
the
like
style
as if you were
changed from fun video game thing to very white letters and these little
what Gran
blue...
Turismo would look like.
Yes. So I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Where did this come from? Why is this here? And then why did we never talk about it again?
Yeah.
And then I also found like it didn't quite know what it wanted to. If that movie wasn't racing, it did know what the fuck it was doing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like the actual like character moments, fucking hated it. Like, I could not stand most of the dialogue.
Oh, some of it was like really fucking dramatic. Like me and Melissa would look over at each other and be like, what the fuck is this?
And also, we're going to say that, and I mean, so something happens and someone ends up in the hospital. Well, the main character does end up in the hospital. And, you know, his parents are distraught by the entire thing, but they just don't immediately get on a plane. It's just like ignored phone calls later.
Movie's got a movie, James.
Movie's got a movie.
Movie's got a movie, man.
Oh God, no.
I don't know why the CGI looks so bad in that scene. It looks so bad. Considering the CGI looks
bad. Looks pretty good.
Pretty crisp throughout the movie. I don't know why that scene specifically looks terrible.
Oh, the car, like, just like kind of like,
yeah.
What
I don't know.
Fuck?
When I first saw it, I was like, what the hell is it? What the hell?
Yeah.
All of that said, I was okay with like when it was like, yo, this is the player.
I was okay with it.
I was okay with
that.
Don't
get me wrong.
But like when he's playing the game and all of a sudden like the car
would
forms
build
around him.
Yeah.
Or later when the car disintegrates and then he's playing the game again. Yeah. I was like, okay, guys, come on.
We get it.
We get it.
I thought the CG for that was very cool. I liked when they
crisp.
Not when they built the car, when they exploded the car. I thought that was very cool. I liked the way that they did that and then rebuilt it again. I thought that was well done, well crafted. It looked crisp.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with those elements that they added. I just don't understand the tonal shift and the fact that like you did one thing and then you just said, "Great, that was for one scene only, and we'll never do it again."
That's
it's
fair.
Like pick one.
Did you like the car cam when it goes like full Gran Turismo mode when the car races?
Yeah. When this movie is racing, I liked it.
Yeah.
When it's not, I don't like it. I hated everything about the training montage.
I thought the training montage was fun.
Fucking garbage.
So would you say that
it was so like I was supposed to like connect and care about some of these other drivers? I didn't give a fuck about any of them.
Not even the cutie from Never Have I Ever.
Don't care. No one was worth it.
He's so cute.
Paxton.
No one was worth
Paxton
it.
Hall Yoshida.
Like even the rival that they built up during the training thing, I didn't give a fuck about.
That's
him.
who we're talking about.
Oh yeah,
Paxton Hall Yoshida.
Yeah. See, I don't even know his fucking name.
That's his name on the show.
Yeah. Would you say when it's Gran Turismoing,
yes,
it's great.
It's great.
But when it's not Gran Turismo,
it's not great.
Darren Barnett, that's his name.
Darren Barnett. Yeah.
So it's the classic trope of a video game movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
When they're trying to do anything else, and even I had a little bit. I didn't go in with the highest expectations of this movie. I knew it was going to be a race movie. Fine. And it's going to be a video game movie. Sure. But I had a little bit of a higher hope because it was at least based on something that actually did happen. And I kind of knew that like the guy did the driving stunt work for him and he's a legit racer. He
did the stunt work. That's awesome.
So awesome. And like he's a legit racer on the circuit, does great. I was like, okay, maybe we'll no. Fuck no. Story is no. And also you
seem very bitter about this.
Yeah, because I was just eye rolling constantly. I was just like, can we just fucking get back to a race? Because like I just didn't care about the melodrama. It was so bad and so over the top. And I didn't like it. Didn't connect to anybody.
That's fair.
All right.
But when it was racing, when you got to the third act, when you got to the Le Mans race, fucking excellent. It was solid.
Not Ford v Ferrari excellent, but
no, but it was good. Like I was like legitimately like I could see myself and I could feel myself feel different at the different spots of that movie. When it was in between races, I was a little bit like pinching my nose a little bit. My eyes were rolling. I was kind of just like, oh, whatever. And then when that race hit, I was like glued to it. I was like, yes, let's fucking go. And like I was, cheering it on and everything else. And like my theater fucking erupted when he won. Like erupted in applause.
He didn't even win.
Well,
spoilers, he didn't win.
He succeeded.
Sorry, when he got on the platform.
Yes, he succeeded.
When he placed.
Podiumed. Le Mans. And like my theater erupted when that happened.
I had a couple of claps. It was busy. We all saw it on Sunday when
National Theater Day.
National Theater Day, where every movie was $4. So it was much more packed than I expected it to be at 10:30 at night on a Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it sounded good too. Like I like the sound a lot. Tony, you saw it in 4DX.
I did.
Thoughts?
Well, I took an edible before the movie.
Excellent.
And I think Melissa said it the best.
The car goes vroom.
The car goes vroom.
Yes. Car goes vroom.
The movie would have been a hell of a lot more boring if we didn't see it in 4DX. I think 4DX really enhanced it. I do not share your opinion. I thought it was good, harmless fun. And it was it's basically a crowd pleaser movie.
I guess.
Watching the Le Mans race, reminded me a lot of Ford v Ferrari.
Very.
Reminded me a lot of the Steve McQueen Le Mans movie that I desperately want to fucking see now. That's really all I gotta say. Like the 4DX was fucking great. Like listening to Melissa laugh because she's so disoriented because the fucking chair is like whipping you around, man. Yeah. Like seriously, Cineplex, like seatbelts, man. Like, come on. Yeah. This was the first time I saw a 4DX movie where I wasn't on the end, so I wasn't getting thrown around as much.
Yeah.
I feel like you get like whipped around when you're on the end.
Yeah.
But like the movie doesn't carry enough. When your chair isn't moving, you fucking notice. You notice, and you're just like, okay, when's the chair going to start moving again?
Yeah, that's
because
what I
mean. I'm not into this. And like I was rolling my eyes at some of the dialogue too. Like I think it was over dramatic. Like David Harbour's fucking emotional peaks, I would say, like when he's trying to like hype him up and shit and get on him. I thought that was like over the top and like so unnecessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, David Harbour was the best part of the movie. Outside of him, I would say Orlando Bloom was just kind of there.
He was just kind of there.
This is a walking.
Orlando Bloom ever not just kind of been there? Like, sure, just Legolas, but like.
Did you guys get the thing just before the movie started? It was one of like the Cineplex, whatever the fuck, they have like those interviews or whatever that roll.
I wasn't there early enough for it.
All right. Were you there early enough?
I might have saw some of it.
It was the main kid. He was kind of talking about how they apparently like Orlando Bloom was just supposed to be a cameo.
Yeah.
But then they extended his entire part.
That would make sense.
That would make sense. More of a big deal in it.
Yeah.
That would check out.
And I was like, yeah, I guess that checks considering how he kind of just fades in and out of this movie randomly.
Literally just gets dropped in and out. Doesn't like do anything to change the plot.
Some brutal ADR. Some just I mean, I guess he acts. There's that.
He's pretty.
Fucking, He's pretty. There's that moment where like right at the beginning where he's like going to the list of like chief engineers that he can call before he gets to David Harbour's character. And that was just a weird scene. Like, I had so many problems with that whole montage because like from the moment of go for this thing where he's like putting the team together and he's getting everyone in the academy, everything was so quick and so choppy that it never gave you a moment to just be in it. It just, the entire thing was a montage.
That's fair.
Until that one crash where he ends up being proven right and yada, yada, yada. That's the only moment that they let stay. Everything else was like, let's go. We're going. People are being cut. They're going. And it's just fair. Like, what the fuck? Like,
that's fair. Well, they wanted to show a lot.
Yeah.
A lot happens.
Sure. Anyway.
And Tony was about to say it. But yeah, it is very much a promo for Nissan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
And for Gran Turismo.
Oh, yeah. Seriously. Like, how much ad money do you think these guys are getting? Like, fuck me. Like, I understand, like, it is a Sony movie, so, like, they're just, like, promoting their own shit, but, like,
it's
Nissan,
a PlayStation
really?
Studio movie.
Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, and, like, and they kept focusing on
it's a big circle jerk.
The different brands on the jackets and like the cars.
Puma was another big one too.
Puma was a very
Puma
big
was
one.
huge. They spent big money on that.
Of course.
Like it was always it was very like spot the PlayStation logo.
That's true.
Where is it on this helmet? Where is it on the car?
Yeah. It was there's a couple of bits that I was like, okay, this is egregious now, guys. Come on now. Come on, let's dial it back. All of this to say, when you're chewing it out, I was just fine with it. It was entertaining enough. It kept me awake at 10:30 at night, and I didn't need a D-box seat or a 40X seat. I was just
sure.
It was fine.
It's harmless fun.
It would be if I was to put it on best, meh, worst. It would be in meh.
Yeah,
like, it's fine. Like I think if I watched it here, even with the sound up, I don't think I would have. I think it would have been not very good.
Yeah.
And like Archie, that's his name. I just had it. Archie Madekwe.
Yeah.
Like he's fine.
He's fine. There was so much fine. Yep.
That would be my review would be it's fine. And I do agree with you with like the motifs and not sticking with them. Because I did think the police one, I was like, this is strange.
So odd.
Very odd.
This is odd.
So odd. And also,
the romance where he's keeps being on Instagram. I was like,
the relationship with his brother. Right. I don't even, that just.
There's a lot that's just like, and like the rivalry with the other team.
Oh yeah. With the gold Lamborghini boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kappa.
Yeah.
Kappa. Thank you.
Like he's a real piece of shit, but.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some very exciting moments in it. It seems very choreographed, but the
very
whole time,
peaked and valleyed.
The whole time I was like, I wanted to watch other racing movies.
Yes. That was exactly it.
I would have wanted to watch I was thinking about Days of Thunder. I was thinking about Ford v Ferrari. And when you watched it, I totally forgot that when I was sitting in the theater, I was like, I'm gonna go home and watch Ford v Ferrari. Instead, I came home and watched You Were So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah.
Oh God. Yeah, no,
not terrible.
That's good news.
Surprisingly,
I've been seeing that movie floating around and I was like, I don't know what this is, but that's good news. Yeah, no, that's what it made me want to do. I wanted to watch the more consistently solid racing movie.
Yeah,
Days of Thunder would have been a good excellent choice, a second choice to that, because not that it's great.
No, it's not a good. It's not a great movie, fucking, but the racing is amazing,
excellent,
because it's Tony Scott.
Yeah, the action again, in car shit, man. That practical level, and I know even Ford v Ferrari used quite a bit of CG, but still.
Well, this one was practical in parts.
Yeah. A lot of Nissan GTRs.
So here's my question to kind of bring it home.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah.
Could you tell it was made by him?
Nope.
Can you does he have like a signature look? Like I know there's a viral interview with him where he kind of like chewed the guy's ass because he asked about District 9 or like not living up to the hype of District 9 ever since. But it's like he hasn't like everyone loved District 9 because it's awesome. But everything since then, like fucking Chappie, fucking Elysium.
Chappie. Elysium. Fuck, I haven't thought about that movie in years.
Die Atwood? Is that who's in Chappie?
Die Antwoord.
The Antwoord, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Chappie. What a
fucking yeah.
And like Demonic, I think it's called Demonic. It's a step in the right direction, but it was still pretty fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It just wasn't Chappie bad. but like, I don't know what this guy's.
He doesn't have. To me, he doesn't have like a signature look to his films, or a style. Like, to me, when I think of Neil Blomkamp, I think of District 9 immediately. And I guess I just think because of like, you know, Elysium and Chappie, I think of like sci-fi.
Yeah, I was just about to say
elements of robots or some sort of alien or some sort of futuristic
like alien sci-fi,
but grounded in some kind of grittiness. Some grounded sort of like poor versus rich,
not too distant future kind of thing,
and rich versus poor. You're right.
Yeah, a rich versus poor
classes.
Definitely like based because he's South African, apartheid sort of mismatch of ideas, but not a specific. But not a specific look.
You just described District 9.
Yeah, and also Elysium, and also Chappie.
I can't remember much about Chappie.
There's not much to remember, but those themes are still there.
Yeah.
But it's more themes than it is like a look or a style or a thing. And like, honestly, if we hit directed by and it wasn't Neil Blomkamp's name, I would have been like, sure.
Yeah.
I would say the only thing that's resembling a Neil Blomkamp movie would be your themes, right? Because the overall themes of District 9, of Elysium, of Chappie is about the classes, right?
I guess these are the underdogs.
This movie, underdog story, it's obviously an underdog, classes, rich versus poor kind of thing. Yeah. But that's the only thing that's tying it together, and it's not a real like original theme, right?
Yeah. It's not even the strongest theme that's running through this movie.
Like, you see that I'm pulling at strings here, right, to try and connect Blomkamp to this. Yeah. And if you didn't see his name, you wouldn't have been able to tell.
You could have put up Chad Kroeger and I've been like, oh, I guess he's making movies now.
Yeah, exactly.
Such a sort of like, I don't know, there's no flair or style. It's just
like some of the racing scenes are cool, like but it's not. Yeah, it's just fine. Yeah. But I wouldn't. Yeah, I knew it was him, and I was like, I'm looking for something.
Does it matter? Yeah,
and like, it's just so unfortunate, right? Because like, you see District 9 and you're like, holy shit, like this guy like has a future, right? And it just hasn't really panned out. He hasn't lived up to his hype, basically. And I feel like he's been chasing District 9 ever since.
That's what the viral interview is. Is they ask him about that, and he gets very upset.
Oh, for sure, right? Because like he even fucking knows it, and he probably doesn't want to talk about it. He just wants to make movies, and he's tired of his reputation, like fucking him out of movies.
It's one of those, you captured lightning in a bottle once.
Yeah, it's
hard to make that happen twice, and you know. Maybe this is kind of his way of like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to like just because like. It, you know, he followed it with Elysium, and he followed that with Chappie, and like,
well, he was supposed to make Alien 5,
right?
And then fucking Ridley Scott decided to make fucking
Prometheus.
Alien Covenant. No, Alien Covenant.
Covenant, that's right.
Which,
God,
sure, buddy, great work.
Did you see that thing recently that he like regrets making? Was it? I guess it might have been Prometheus. Over 2049.
I think it was
Covenant over 2049. Yeah.
He said he should have made Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Except it wouldn't have been as good.
Nope. And Denny don't miss.
And we would have been on the fourth version, the fourth director's version or blueprint version by now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Anyway, sorry, just thinking about directors and
no, and like Ridley Scott fucked him over, and he also was supposed to make the Halo movie, and that's why District 9 has a Halo feel to it.
Yeah.
And he got fucked out of that too.
Yeah.
And like, I feel for the guy.
I do too.
But at the same time, it's like,
maybe this is, you know what? Maybe this is a step in the direction of just kind of like breaking away from that. Like, stop trying to chase the dragon, so to speak. Like,
and that's funny that you brought that up, because I read a review today on our favorite site /film. They say that exact thing.
Yeah,
that maybe he's trying to go in a different direction. He's trying to do something new.
Yeah. Honestly, like if he fades into a background noise of just like a good, solid director that maybe delivers to good movies, but just solidly directs a film, fuck it, sure, why not? I don't need all of my directors to be prolific fucking auteurs. They can't all be. Some of them have to be that.
Exactly. Harmless, fun, entertaining popcorn movies.
Whatever. Make your cash.
Yeah. And that's exactly what this is. It's a entertaining popcorn, harmless, like don't really think about it.
It appealed to the masses.
It's a crowd pleaser. It's your underdog story. If you fucking love underdog stories, get behind this one. It doesn't do anything different. It follows the same fucking tropes of every underdog story.
That's it.
Right?
Yep.
You know what you're getting and it delivers.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything else to say.
That's it.
I think you can drop the mic.
We talked for a while about a meh movie.
Yeah. That's harmless. If I didn't get seats to 40X, I don't see myself actively going out to see this in the theater.
If I didn't pay $4.52 after taxes for this, I also don't see myself going to see this.
I could watch this at home.
If we didn't run this podcast, I would have definitely waited till I saw this at home, and then probably would have hated it more.
Probably.
I think the crowd and the AVX, as you mentioned, Dave, I think, or the 40X, being in a theater with people and seeing it,
and the sound.
Yeah. I think it definitely. I think it helps this movie, and seeing it at home is not. It's not going to deliver the same experience, and people will probably, the home viewers, the PVODs or the streaming, wherever the fuck this lands, it's Sony, so Netflix maybe. Will probably dislike this stronger than the people that saw it in the theaters.
That's fair.
I think.
All fair points. No, you're right.
It just doesn't.
Right. I don't think it's going to play as well. Yeah. And like Tony said, it doesn't do enough differently.
Yeah. It as you said, as I did, it just made us want to watch
other movies,
other better racing movies. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Gran Turismo of it all.
Me and my Gran Turismo.
No.
I gotta watch Gran Torino again.
I know. I really want to watch it again too. I need to get my Eastwood numbers up.
Fuck yeah! You gonna watch some Gran Torino?
Oh, of course, buddy. Fucking course. It's been a time. It's been a time since I've seen that.
It's a great movie,
including the song, the original song.
Yes.
Anyway, Dave, you don't have a new blue.
I do, but I don't. I can't talk about it right now. So we'll talk about it a different day. I think we should just do some quick strike talk. Still going.
Tony's favorite topic.
Strike. But Dune Part 2 just got delayed.
Dune 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Like within the last few days.
Sadness.
To March, which is already, there's way too much in March already. Yeah. But it's...
is that one done filming?
Dune?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I was reading that maybe some of the special effects aren't done, and he's still cutting it because apparently it's 3 hours long.
That doesn't surprise me, Denny.
Great.
Yeah, so I can see like some of the reasons why it got delayed, and like he definitely needs the people talking it up. Yeah. Like he needs the Zendaya and fucking Florence Pugh and Timmy Chalamet. Like he needs all of those people to talk it up.
Yeah,
and like. Everyone online loves Dune, the first Dune, but like, I don't think it's as beloved as people kind of make it out to be. I really enjoy it, and it did very well at the Oscars, but like, I don't think it's not a.
I don't think it generates its own hype.
Yeah,
I think it's good and people like it, but it needs the help.
Yes, I definitely.
It's still very weird niche sci-fi.
Super niche.
So it's super weird.
So I'm just curious where we go now, because like
that was the last big movie, right?
Biggie,
huge.
Yeah.
Like
it's a monster.
The Marvels is still coming out, as far as I know.
Oof.
And now it can take all the IMAX screens because it wasn't going to get any of them.
Right, because Dune
had like a 6-week like hold on them.
Oh fuck!
Which is unheard of, but I guess IMAX is just cutting deals right now.
Clearly.
What else? The new Hunger Games movie, the prequel, is coming out, and apparently that's 2 hours and 45 minutes. Whoa. I like the trailer. Our boy Schwartzman's in it.
Indeed.
But like, I don't need to rush out and see it.
No.
But with the way things are falling and our plans for future episodes are falling apart, maybe we will.
Yeah, well, either that or if things keep getting pushed off, there's going to be a lot of retrospectives coming. We're going to be back in the 20s by the end of this year.
But what I want to know with Warner, like they're having, like Barbie just saved Warner for the year.
Yeah.
Like good for them. Because The Flash sure as shit didn't. And neither did Blue Beetle or fucking like any of the DC stuff didn't help. But like over the course of 10 days in December, they're releasing Wonka, the Willy Wonka prequel with Timmy Chalamet and fucking Hugh Grant as Oompa Loompas. And apparently people are upset about that.
It's whack.
They're releasing the new Aquaman, which does not have a trailer.
The finale of the current DCEU
does not have a trailer, does not have any posters, does not have any marketing material whatsoever.
Nice.
Versus Dune 2 that has 2 trailers. Just had a big spread in Empire, which they didn't give the memo to them that they were delaying it, so it came out the same day as it got delayed. The day after it got delayed.
Wow.
Oof is right. Oof is right.
Somebody's getting fired.
And then after Aquaman, the new musical version of The Color Purple is coming out. Which is going to be like a heavy Oscar contender.
Yeah.
But I also think it's going to need people talking about it.
Yep.
Right? So I just don't know how, for one thing, why are they releasing 3 movies in the course of 10 days?
Good question.
And like, there's definitely crossover between all of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are they doing that? Why are you delaying Dune out of November? Or I know why you're delaying Dune, but why aren't you delaying Aquaman at this point? Why aren't you moving anything else? Because these other movies hinge just as much on reasons why you're delaying Dune.
And as you mentioned, kind of considering the way that DC is unfolded over the last little bit, because The Flash tanked. Blue Beetle is tanking.
It's doing better than they said it would.
Yeah, which that's not
saying a lot, but at least it's doing better, and it definitely benefited from National Theater Day.
Yeah,
but The Flash was a colossal disaster.
Yeah.
It's just even the good day, even if it was the good days, not the strike days, it's like, why are you releasing 3 movies in 10 days? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like
nothing's making sense.
Something's not making sense.
Yep.
And to all of that, I say, why are the CEOs still being bitches about this? Why are they still saying it's unreasonable when they're only going to have to lose less than 10% of their fucking wage?
Yeah.
If they just give in.
Did you guys see on Twitter, they post Twitter,
Elon Musk's X.
Elon Musk can fucking kiss the fattest part of my ass.
Oh, I don't like that.
I do not want the Elon Musk fanboys coming for us, so I'm just going to say Tony said that. We do not endorse that message.
They posted what it would cost the studios. So they did a chart. They did all the major studios. They did what it would cost to give the writers and actors what they want. They did their annual budget, or not their annual budget, their annual revenue, and the percentage of the hit that they will take on said revenue. I'm talking about 0.008% of a hit on their annual revenue if they just fucking give in. That is sickening. I am fucking sickened to my stomach just looking at those fucking numbers.
And apparently the writers went for like a negotiation meeting, and the Writers Guild went to a negotiation meeting, and the CEOs were there, and they basically yelled at them for not taking the deal.
The CEOs yelled at the writers?
Yes.
Of course they did. Of fucking course they did.
Welcome to late stage capitalism, everybody.
Yeah.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's garbage all the way down.
Just fuck them all.
I'm just waiting for the if they really want to go with the AI, because the AI is going to get rid of the CEOs too.
Seriously.
They definitely, like, the writers are going to punch it up, but like the CEO, you don't need the CEOs anymore after that.
But like, you know,
think of all the money you're saving then.
You know what I mean though? Like, we're talking about fractions upon fractions of a percent that you're going to miss out on. So you don't get a fucking Tesla this year. You get it next year. Who the fuck cares?
It's not even that. It's fractions of a percent, but it means that the line of stonks does not go up as much. And that's the name of the game.
They lose control of certain things, and they can't. And they're going to have to, for Netflix at least, they're going to have to give up viewership numbers.
Well, and that's
I don't know why they're not being forced to fucking give up viewership numbers at this point.
We've created, streaming has created a very, very, very bad situation in terms of companies being able to hide behind things.
Like how have they been able to get away with it for so long? Like,
because no one's challenged them on it.
No one's really challenged. They've been challenged, but nobody's really challenged. Yeah. And now they're going to have, like, I don't think they're going to back. The writers are not going to back down, and neither are the actors. Like, they're going to want what they did.
Yeah, this AI thing is fucking real, and they're not going to fucking, exactly what you said. They're not going to fucking back down.
Like the AI, the viewership numbers, the proper residuals.
Yeah.
They're not going to let this go.
There's as I've plugged many a time, there's one of my favorite YouTubers, Patrick H. Willems, just did a full video on content, and it fits quite nicely into this entire idea of like the difference between the streaming tech age, where we're in an age of content, and what the writers are trying to basically get a stake into. And what the studios are kind of demanding of them too, which is no longer really like quality shit. It's just content. Write this. We need to pump out this and this and this, but then we're not going to fucking pay you for it.
The content bubble burst. It's over.
Well, is it?
It's definitely over. After this, it's over.
Oh, after this, yes, but that's what I mean.
After
like,
this it's over.
This is like
the age of fucking $300 million fucking blockbusters is over.
Yeah,
like we are gonna go back to fucking like mid-budget movies, and it's gonna be great because they're not gonna need to make $100 million. They're not gonna have to pass $100 million on opening weekend in order to make a profit.
Yeah. And they got to become more fucking transparent overall.
And the transparent, I think the transparency is a bigger issue than the AI.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the AI, you can negotiate it, and I know they've been negotiating it, but
this is like
the
legit,
transparency, like this is something they've like hidden forever.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're gonna have
true watch metrics of true viewership numbers of true how much people should be fucking paid based on
it's gonna explode things.
Yeah,
it's gonna change the game.
Yeah,
everything's going to change when they give it up.
Yeah,
and they're gonna have to.
Yeah,
they can't just let 6 writers look at it type thing. Like it's gonna get out.
Yeah,
like no matter what, just make it fucking public knowledge.
Yeah,
because they don't want to have to answer to the shareholders, and they don't want to have to answer to Wall Street, and they don't want to have to answer to everybody who will come back to them and be like, well, why did you cancel this? Why did you let this go for so long? If
no one's fucking watching it.
This show has 100 people watching it and got canceled after season 2 because you didn't want to pay the proper residuals for the number of episodes. But this show only had 50 people watching it, and it went for 6 seasons.
Yeah.
And they basically cost the same. Like, how can you justify this?
Yeah. It's almost like they have to become a studio again.
Yeah.
And not the fucking nonsense monsters that we created when fucking Netflix started creating their own original content.
Yeah. They all chased a model that was not
much like I've always sort of applauded the music industry from sort of coalescing behind, you know what, all our shit's available on all the platforms. There's still problems there. I'm not saying that there isn't, but at least, you know, it's very clear you're going to be paid this much of a listen. Like it's clear as day. Whereas,
but it took a long time to get there.
Yes, and also thank you, Taylor Swift.
And Napster. Fucking Sean Parker.
And yes,
well, he's
Napster
the one that made
Metallica,
it.
I guess.
What about U2 getting their album on all your iPhones?
Fuck that. That was awful. Anyway, what I'm saying is just like that model of just like all our shit is available everywhere. Everybody gets paid. Maybe not well, but you get money. And streaming went the opposite way. They followed the Netflix fucking tech bro model of we're a tech company first, not a studio. So we don't have to do shit. We don't have to follow the traditions. We don't have to do this. And everybody wanted their slice of that pie. And now we're living in this fucking hellscape that is 78 fucking streaming platforms. No one's getting paid properly.
Yep. Someone's getting paid.
Someone's getting paid, but no one's getting paid properly.
Revolution is coming.
And like Netflix is going up in price. And it's like, but why?
Yep. For what?
For what?
So they can make another 100 million Gal Gadot action movie that doesn't
Heart of
make any
Stone 2,
fucking
baby.
sense.
The franchise continues.
Or you give a $200 million to Michael Bay to fucking do whatever the fuck Six Underground was.
They're not going to let them do it anymore.
Also, you know that of that $150 million budget, $100 million of it went to Gal Gadot.
Of course.
And they're going to have to lower the prices.
Yeah, seriously. Like,
and they're going to have to get what they actually earn. They actually deserve.
I can't wait for the list to come out at the end of the year for like highest paid actors and actresses, whatever. I really hope Gal Gadot is right at the top for like her 3 weird fucking, her 1 Netflix movie and her other weird cameos.
It's,
hi, I'm on top of a submarine. $50 million. Here you go.
I don't think she made that much. Maybe like a couple million. Either way, the reckoning is coming. It's coming. It just, there's going to be more people losing.
Something eat the rich.
There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be out of health insurance.
Yeah.
And they're going to be out of their homes, and there's a reckoning coming.
There's an article today that because of the strikes, there was like in the headline, because of the strikes, John Cena has to go back to wrestling.
Yeah,
sure. I'm sure Dwayne Johnson's almost there.
He's probably almost there too.
When he's done hucking fucking water and fucking carbonated juice or whatever.
I think Dwayne Johnson's fine. He was one of the first ones to donate to the guilds so they could support the members.
He's got enough sponsorship deals that he's good.
He's fine.
If he's donating millions to help the cause, I think he's fine.
He's fine.
Yeah,
I think he's fine.
But
he definitely branched out enough. Into all sorts of other
diversified.
He diversified enough.
Yeah. But I just thought it was funny that fucking John Cena has to go back to wrestling.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm sure Vince McMahon will welcome him back with a big hug.
Vince McMahon is
no more.
He's not the head anymore. I think he's like, you think he's either sick or they just locked him in his house and they're like, you're not allowed to come out.
Yeah.
Don't talk. Just look.
Revolution is coming, and this iteration of Hollywood is going to be burned alive, and I'm optimistic for what rises out of the ashes.
But how long is it going to take?
It's going to take a long time, and I fucking hope it's sooner rather than later. But to be honest, boys, I was really optimistic when I heard that the writers are going back to the table, and that hope was immediately crushed the next day when I heard that the fucking talks just went to shit immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough out there, and I talk to camera guys, and they share with me their stories and stuff, and it's so fucking heartbreaking. Like you have guys that are in the industry doing your TV shows and your features, and they're making their careers out of it, and now you see them on commercials, and it's weird because then the commercial guys get placed down because of seniority, because the TV show and the feature guys, they're higher on the seniority list, so they're getting called up for the commercials, and then the commercial guys aren't getting anything. They have to do short films and low budget stuff, and they're everyone's just trying to make $1. Everyone's just wants to go home and feed their family and live their life.
So what you're saying is, this is the perfect time to get a damn good looking short film made.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say so.
With non-unionized writers and actors.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
It's a good time.
So
the writing has already begun.
You got a script, buddy?
I got
I was going to say the first little bit of September is kind of booked up, but after that,
Finger Guns presents.
After that, Tony,
it's the wheels are turning. Trust me.
And the last point I was going to just bring up, just because I thought of it now, the visual effects artists are starting to unionize.
Fuck yeah, they are.
Yeah,
so absolutely.
That is a long time coming.
Good.
So
I'm all for it.
Like,
it should be all visual effects, animators
shit
alike.
is coming down.
Considering what fucking went down on fucking Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
because that shit's untenable.
Seriously, times are changing.
Times they are a changing.
Fuck.
But I think that's enough.
Debbie Downer talk for the
Debbie
evening?
Downer talk.
Thanks.
I think that's enough. James, you hinted at what our next episode is going to be. It's going to be a retrospective because Tony and Dave
are back at TIFF because they've abandoned me.
And we've abandoned James, and we're very sorry about that. But God willing, we'll have a live episode at Taco Bell.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. It's got to happen somehow. I gotta figure out what film I'm coming to, and then we're recording at Taco Bell.
What?
A quick hit so that we don't have to bore you with 78,000 TIFF movies that you two get to see. And then I will just get to be told about.
But until that moment comes, do you guys have anything else you have left to say? Or do we say it all?
We said it all. Tony nods in agreement.
Tony nods in
this
agreement.
Is radio, not television.
I know. Fuck, man. We really got to get... Hey, this is a good time to start videoing our podcasts, maybe.
Hey. Okay.
No. I have a lot to say, but they are not so nice things about the CEOs in Hollywood.
That's fair.
All right. So with that, I think we're done for another episode.
Excellent.
I am Dave, the Destroyer of Worlds, and I'm with, as always,
Big Tasty Tony B
and
Jimothy.
And we'll talk to you soon.
See you soon, guys.
And a big fuck you to Mr. John Voight.